Good morning, guys. So some of you guys might remember this spot. There was a bunch of kids over here playing basketball. And I was walking out of this area over here. Along this tree line. Doing the back camera, whatever you want to call it. This is where I've been gifting. All the gifts are gone. That's good. It's a good sign. I'll show you what this looks like from the inside. I'll try to at least. I got the brush is really overgrown. I was the only one here, and then somebody pulled in with a trailer and a dirt bike, so I'm limited on time anyway, so hopefully by the time that person's set up, we'll be out of here. She's gonna make a lot of noise. You see how they set this up? See how that's snapped into this and it comes out? That's broke. Those are connected up there. Comes down. See, that one's disconnected actually. But that was probably unintentional at first. Creates a huge blind right here. There's another one over this way. They even have this stuff connecting here. This is where they were when they followed me out. They were in here. I could see them pacing me, like through back there. Like I could kind of see them, and that's why I started to. It was somewhere around here. He was like, there was two of them, but the one that came out that I put my hand towards, he was probably right up there somewhere. So that's why I continue to come back here and gift him. I want to try. Look at the foot traffic in here. Can you see this? Like, something big comes through here, for sure. That's not a deer. How big that is. And that's one step. That's not like dug out. It's not like, you know what I mean? You could tell that's a one-time thing. Anyway, my main purpose was to come in and gift. I don't have a lot of time. Alright, well, I need to go and get it over with. I gotta go do people things. I'm supposed to be at the DMV. But I noticed this was empty, and I wanted to monopolize on it. We'll go into the back blinds. There's a couple back here, and then we'll wrap up with that. Won't be a long one, but I'll definitely share it with you guys. I know you guys like to stay in the loop. I like to keep you in the loop. You'll find these lot. They're just torn out. They're ripped out and left there. They're barely touched, but they're just plucked out. And I believe they're poisonous mushrooms. See, here's the big X right here. I mean, that's about 5 of me. So I'd say 15, 20 feet up. 4 of me. I don't know if I said 5, but I meant 4. This is a new little bunch of connectors. The ground connection. It's cool. So we'll go around this stuff. So we definitely don't want to step on it. So as this big plane goes over, we're gonna keep our eyes and ears peeled, because that'll be the perfect opportunity for some young ones to make a move, the females to make a move. The males are pretty content with being around me. They're the ones that'll meet and greet me, for the most part. I know we've had some occasions where big trees in here. I always forget to look up. Well, that plane didn't come directly over like I thought it was gonna. Good morning, guys. I hope you guys did alright with the storm. So this is we'll show you exactly where they sit at. If I can get in here. Last time I came in, there wasn't a lot of like ground connectors, so they must have just been putting it in. See how everything is. I'll try and come around and show you where they sit. That's a big old spider web. So we see how it all, oh, here we go. We got one coming over. This whole family has only shown itself to me in full one time. Wow. Something just took a step right back here. It was clearly a step, like, just like that. That's what I mean, though. They'll make a move when the plane goes over. I highly doubt you guys heard that step that was out there, but beautiful thing. We'll go on to the next one and let them be. See, that's a huge break there, but being that there was a massive storm, I don't know. I don't know if they wanted that connected to that one for some reason. I just don't know. This one I know, this one's been here. See how they utilize the vines? See again, the mushroom is just ripped out. It's not really used. It's just torn out. They must be poisonous because they don't do it to all the mushrooms. It's just certain ones in particular. Look at this thing just dangling in here. I didn't even notice this. Look at that with an X on top of it, but just dangling in that. Let's see how it's even hanging up. Just barely, like by that piece. And look what it does. It comes down and goes into this stuff. It's not an accident. That's to connect this snap, because it doesn't reach. It doesn't reach. That one comes up, connects to those, and then connects to this. Then this comes and it's connecting, you know what I'm saying? So I'm interrupting right now. I might have did this, so I'll put it back. That just shows good intent. Rock and glass. That might be the end of that connectivity. We come to the conclusion that we kind of figured out through talking with Rob and stuff, that, and you know, how these structures like are basically like conduit, that at the end they might put the glass bottles and the glass and stuff to contain the energy, to keep it inside the structure itself. Sit all right up in here. Nice and heavily blinded on this side. Oh. Going a little further. Just a wee bit. Very cautious group. Now they do like work over here. See how they have a lot of leaners going up? That used to be a whole area over there that I used to visit. It was one of my first places, my first sightings, one of my first sightings, first videoed sighting. Anyway, they tore it all up. And you can see there's like brush and mulch and shit pushed right up to the fence, all the way across. And there's a bunch of beer cans in here, so I'd imagine some of these workers and stuff come trudging back here and just drinking real fast or something, because they're very sporadic. Oh, here we go. Oh, yay! All right. I just want to address, guys, I haven't been getting the notifications like I was. So if I haven't been answering right away, I think it's on my end, honestly. I think it's something I did. I can't even blame anybody. I tried to change it from my settings from popping up because I was getting, you can't imagine how many I get probably, but it's like a lot of notifications. So I tried to put it so where it wasn't like happening loudly, I guess, basically is what I was trying to do. And long story short, I think I screwed something up to the point where I'm not really getting them like I was. So yeah, so I mean how the mulch comes right up to it. So right over there, just past this open yard that they cleared all the way out, is another wood line. Then there's power lines, another wood line, and then there's a bunch of woods that are all fenced off. And there's a lot going on in there, but it's fenced off because it's some kind of state or government land or whatever. For whatever, you know, whether it's water company, you know, water department, electric department, whatever. They took it over for something. You know those old red brick buildings that are a dime a dozen? There's never anybody in there. They just kind of makes you think. I hear something down there, so we're oh. I was expecting to see a person come down the trail. Because whatever moved down there was pretty big. As you can see, this place is surrounded by woods. That's on across the field to the outside. So if you get a chance, you want to look long distance too. I mean, there's no way to connect with, you know, something that far without mind speak. But you know, you'd have to really lock in on it, and it'd have to lock in on you, and that's a little bit of a difficult task at first. So I mean, maybe for some people that's more comfortable. I don't know. For me, I want to get up close and personal if possible. And this is a place I visit because this was a place that was allowed to occur, you know. So I will be doing more here. In the look at this, cut. All this stuff was cut. This wasn't from the storm like 2 days ago. They wouldn't have came in here and cut all this already. A lot of stuff was down in here. This is weird. So I mean, there's a trail coming up over, like, from up there. So like, I think the workers they could probably come right back here. Couple of fresh bike mounts. Let's see, those are like a day old, if that. You gotta be able to track everything and anything. In order to find a Sasquatch, you have to be able to eliminate everything else. If you're tracking it, if you're trying to track them, which I suggest, honestly, I suggest trying to find ways to let them come to you, or be aware of what we do. There's ways to learn, like for instance, learn what people do. Here's a trailhead, right? They know at this trailhead. So what do we know about them? That they'll use a blind at the trailhead, at least one, right? So we won't find a blind. I don't really see one offhand because it's stick brush, but they know that when we get to this trailhead, our thoughts will go off anything. Even if it's looking for a Sasquatch, our thoughts will go automatically into which way do I need to go. If there's a sign here, they know we'll read the sign. Things like that. So they'll expose themselves a little bit. Or they'll be more comfortable exposing themselves a little bit. So you can kind of, walk around and do your thing and then try to look around at trailheads, because we know that around trailheads, that's where we'll kind of let ourselves, our minds go a little bit, and then that's something that, am I making sense? I feel like I said it all. Big old trees, they could be up. I mean, the blind could have been right there, like where all those things were that just got chopped up. This, as far as this goes, this Black Hawk coming in here, it's probably gonna come right over my head. So you can see these fields, these baseball and softball fields aren't very active. You can see how tall the grass is, but there's a lot of wood line around them. It's a nice quiet place. Yeah, good place to watch people. I mean, you know what I mean? The basketball courts, the playground. So that video, I forget what it's called. Something about approachable. Sasquatch is approachable. Bigfoot are approachable. Something. So what I did was I hung up basically video around there, that point, and I started filming myself basically somewhere around this point. Oh yeah, you could see that they're starting to use this spot again. And they weren't, but I could tell by the stuff right here. Probably sit here or there. See, there's one fat bike tire going in. So that's about all that looks fairly fresh as far as this trail goes. And this is the main trail, and we kind of just popped in. There's only one main trail in and one main trail out, and that's it. It's a short little walk. But we went in back here where that's, you know, where they are. It almost looks like there's a couple of possibilities. Right off the tree, basically, is where I'm trying to put it center screen. It's hard to say. That is a head and or a face, whatever, however you want to look at it. It's small, smaller one. Where I have to go actually is right next to a giant state park that's really awesome, and I mean, it's a lot of fun to go there, and I always have an interesting experience, but this place called to me specifically, and I don't really know how to explain that, but if I can, when I get those types of messages, I like to try to answer them. Oh, facial recognition. I hear something walking up on me, like from my left side. It's very difficult not to. It's very difficult not to turn and look. I don't know if anybody will understand this, but it's almost like they know that the breeze is, or the wind is coming before it comes. And they'll make a move. This is about right about where it happened now. I started cutting back in. Somewhere in here, guys. I don't remember exactly, but pretty cool. That's something I'll never forget. You know, I forget about it occasionally, but you know what I mean. But when, like, Derek was talking to me the other day about it, just joking, and man, I don't know, it just had me cracking up, like, and I'll never forget that. So cool. I mean, it's very memorable for obvious reasons. There was a lot of disbelievers that came with that, but that's, you know how that goes. That's where I was getting up in all those vines the past few times I came here. Well, alright guys. I gotta vamonos. Nice small little park. You never know. You never know where it's gonna happen. As always, guys, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. Talk soon.